Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Super excited to see you and really looking forward to this
Yeah,
conversation.
appreciate you having me.
So just to get us started, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience, tell them who you are, who you're here with, and maybe what you're sort of focused on here for the B2B Marketing Expo.
Absolutely. My name's Alex. I lead go-to-market for a company called SlashExperts. I've been there now for about 7 months, which in startup world is about 7 years.
Agreed.
It takes a long time. I've worked now for a lot of early companies. That's my sweet spot, 0 to 1, leading sales and marketing. And what we do specifically as SlashExperts is that we power your social proof. We believe that trust is the most important thing out there right now with anything go-to-market. Used to be distribution, no longer the case, and we can all show up in everybody's email inbox or the cold emails and you'll 10x your business in 2 days.
Of course.
It's like, okay, yeah, I'm like, sure. So you have to trust that somehow. So what we do is we connect your existing customers directly to your prospects in order to drive new leads, speed up sales cycles, and give you data and insights that you don't currently have. And we also have a cool AI agent that's coming out soon. Her name's Carly.
Awesome. Very cool. I'm going to ask some more follow-up questions about that for sure.
Please.
But I love what you said about the dog years for startups.
Yeah.
A lot of our confession marketing friends will resonate with that. We've worked with a lot of startups, a lot of small businesses.
Yeah.
I myself have been in that environment.
Yeah.
So I totally hear you on the 7 years versus 7 months, Matt.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
I did 2 months at a big company, and I don't think I got out of training. It was like, so I'm like a startup guy.
Yes, I love it. That's awesome. And very cool and very niche specialization that you guys are offering, which is, I think, very, very cool. There's a lot of demand right now for trust and what that means for connection and relationship building and ultimately customer relationships,
Absolutely.
right? Like those conversions. So love that you're focused on that trust element because it's probably a bigger deal now than it has been for a long time.
Absolutely. Completely agree. And, just to potentially share a little bit of our founding story.
Please do.
Our founder, Brayden Young, he previously founded the company Sendoso, if you're familiar with them. They're the biggest gifting company in the space. And what he saw is less and less people were wanting to book a demo with a sales guy. And I'm a sales guy, but we tend to tell you all the positives. And even if we are honest and tell you about the things that need work on, hard to necessarily believe all of that. Again, talking about trust. And so Brayden thought, okay, the best alternative to just purely talking to a salesperson is also saying, talk to somebody who's an actual customer of that product. And that was all his idea while working at Sendoso, and then spun that up because it was working so well there. And now here we are.
Yeah, that's amazing because what it's that referral, right?
Yeah.
It's that implied sense of I already trust this person. This person that I know that is doing this thing. And we all know how valuable referrals are.
Absolutely.
And it sort of bakes that in to the conversation, which is amazing. And it's such a great idea. I think it's one of those things, to your point, like nobody wants to book a demo anymore.
Yeah.
Those
Which hurts me because I do demos.
hurts a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to say that a well-done demo can't actually be incredibly useful and insightful. And I think the thing that's really interesting about that is you always want to have social proof.
Yeah.
You always want to know that it's working for somebody else before you risk it yourself.
And more so, especially CFOs control budget more and more for even small deals. And so the number one thing they ask is, okay, who else has this worked for?
Yeah. Yeah. Prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Prove it.
It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you are sort of spending the most time talking with folks about at the show this week. What's sort of like the common theme?
I think it's probably a lot in line with what we're already talking about. I was able to speak yesterday and really talking about trust being the biggest obstacle right now for go-to-market. Last year, or right after last year, we conducted a survey with over 450 different go-to-market leaders. We anonymized it so you didn't know it was us. Shout out to Heinz Marketing, who was our partner on that. And essentially, we asked them what their biggest obstacles are, what their issues, where they're spending money, where they're going to pull back on money. And a theme that came up over and over and over again is, again, social proof, which was a really good indicator that we're building the right thing. And what we were able to find pretty quickly is that when you take your SLA of showing social proof to your customer down to under 48 hours, deals convert at over 3 times that of if it's 3+ days. It's really impactful. not just for if you work with us, like we'll automate it, make it super easy for you. But even if you're just really on it and have your own systems on it, that tactic, that way of operating, and really, I would say customer references have been around for a long time, but usually they happen at the very end of the deal cycle. Usually it's a fire drill of, oh, they need to speak with 3 people who are exactly like me. How do I find all this? And then you find those people because then you talk to your CS team or whoever owns that. And then it takes 2 weeks of scheduling because somebody was on PTO. So that really slows things down versus when you can right from the jump, send over a bookable page saying, here, talk to some of my existing customers. That converts really, really well.
Yeah. And what you keyed into there on speed is so important. Nothing will close a deal faster than delays.
I talk about velocity of social proof all the time. It's, TM or whatever, but it really matters. And the ability to, and this is not to, jump into it, but this is what our AI agent is going to do, is be able to provide social proof autonomously based off of who you specifically are at any point in the buying journey that is relevant, and learning from all the conversations that are being recorded of these customer reference calls, and being able to deliver that social proof, whether it's a G2 review, a case study, or even, hey, talk to this person, they went through that exact same situation, not having to rely on the salesperson to manually send that over. It can happen at the speed of AI, essentially.
Yeah. Well, and in B2B, historically, things always move a little slower, right? Or a lot slower.
My background's in retail, so I very much know that.
So anytime that we have an opportunity to make a meaningful jump in that time frame, to consolidate those timelines, it's better for the organization. It's better for the customer.
Absolutely.
The customer doesn't want to wait either. And I think that's something that gets missed a lot in GTM, right? Like go-to-market planning often is so focused on what's the value prop, what's the core audience, right? I think that term at this point kind of gets thrown around with a lot of different definitions, right? A GTM can mean 75 different things.
I think I get asked at least once a week, what do you do? What does GTM mean?
That alphabet soup being this week. And it's really interesting to understand the importance of shifting social proof from the end to the beginning, and the time frame from 6 months to 6 days, potentially the dramatic effects that has.
Absolutely. Our customers who work with us and have an expert attached to their deal see an average of around 30% reduction in their sales cycle. We have some that are even higher than that are outliers. I think the low end is like 25%. So it's really a massive impact. And to be frank, yes, it is because we built the infrastructure to make it happen, but it's also just the importance of showing that social proof in a real way, because honestly, people can fake case studies, but saying, hey, talk to somebody, talk to lots of people, I don't care. And then also those experts get paid for their time too. That's the other side to it. Which you can sign up to be an expert at SlashExperts.com for.
Awesome. That's awesome. I think, and it's such an interesting concept too, because everybody wants an opportunity to be an expert. And so it gives the everyday business owner or the everyday person an opportunity to say, yeah, actually, I have a lot of credibility when it comes to talking about fill in the blank.
Yeah, absolutely. We see people all the time now start posting on their LinkedIn under job title that say expert with XYZ company or things like that. It's cool to sort of see that movement. And as we've started to expand our network of experts and just get all this whole bench of these great people who are experts, and then have companies come and verify them, say, yes, they are a customer, which then they say, I'm a verified expert.
You've got badges.
Exactly. It's really cool.
Yeah. And the subtext that I'm hearing in it is also sort of this resurgence of a theme of community.
Yes.
Right. And we're wired as humans to thrive in community.
Yeah, absolutely.
It creates that.
And that's actually where I spend the majority of my time, is really community, being in person. I'm all around. I've been to I think 8 states this month so far. I guess we're at the end of the month, so that'll keep the end of it. Just to show up, and a lot of that's talking with our existing customers. That's meeting with prospects or just meeting with other people who are in network. And I think community is more important now than ever. And I think we're trying to carve out a little slice of adding to that.
Yeah, community is I think that's a great part of these events like this, right? You get another version of that sense of community and what's happening in the space and what matters and what's working, what's not working in some cases.
I mean, again, it kind of comes back to that whole trust thing. And one of the best ways to solve for trust is community and being in person. We're not in person so often now, which is great. And that's fine. I'm not one of those like everyday in the office people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being able to show up, shake somebody's hand, get to know them, sit across from them and have a conversation is such an additive to trust and the impact that you can make.
Yeah, absolutely. Given the clear passion that you have for what you're doing and the expertise level that you have with it, what is maybe your what's your number one tip or your best advice that you would give some of the small business owners that are walking around this floor today? Like if they haven't come by to visit you, what's your best advice to give them?
Absolutely. I think systematize your social proof with your customers. That's the number one thing you can do to be able to do it faster. Obviously, to plug us, we can do that for you. But if you don't work with us, that's fine. If you have that bench that you know of the people who could be a good customer reference for you, and that's somewhere in some centralized database that everybody knows, it's not a fire drill, and you can just make that go faster, you'll see a huge, massive impact on your go-to-market and the rest of 2026.
That is a really good suggestion. Anytime you can put a system in place. So if you I feel, what is it? If you have to do it 3 times, it should be a system. It should be a process.
Yeah, that's a good phrase. Absolutely.
So that is actually, it's excellent advice, because I think a lot of small businesses just sort of do everything on the fly.
Yeah.
And
which is great. That's as a small business, as a startup, that's your edge, is that you can be on the fly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you're on the fly too much, and then you're just that's not helping you. And so find the ways where being scrappy makes you win, and then systemize everything else.
Yeah. Oh, that's the soundbite right there. Okay. That's the soundbite right there. Such a cool conversation. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking me.
Cool. Love your advice. Love your tips.
Appreciate it.
And I hope that the rest of the show goes amazing for you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.